I saw God in the teenage girls. We went to a transition home, and there we met with teenage girls. And some of them had been in trafficking, and they had made it out, and they were training for a job. And some of them were sewing dresses, and some of them were working at different shops, but they were trying to transition so that they could independently live without having to be trafficked or falling into the lure of the promises that were offered to them, and then they ended up being trafficked. And when they would tell their stories, we talked to them about, I forget what the name of our story was, what we did there, but it was about God being with us and God carrying us. And sometimes we look back and we thought we were alone, but God was with us. And then we each shared experiences in our life. And when they shared, God was all over it. You know, they say, I think a friend of mine, Roxanne, told me, that you go on a mission trip to hope you can make changes for people and for countries, but you come back changed. And having worked for CPS for many years, I had seen many, many things. But to be in a country where there was no protection for children, where there aren't laws, where anybody can come and pick up kids and say, I want them to come work on my farm. And if they get back, they get back. And if they don't, they don't. That just really, really made me realize how lucky we are here in America. And it made me just really have the desire to go and show as much love and as much happiness to those children as I can.
I see God everywhere in Guatemala. The people. The people are just beautiful there. They are so happy to see us come. They don't expect anything from us, and they're just happy with whatever they get from us. The smiles, like I said before, the mothers, the babies, the children, and they're just so grateful that we're there. I think it's still changing me. You know, every year I go, I get a little bit more out of it. Like I said, I went for selfish reasons. I thought that, you know, it was going to be a vacation. I was just going to have a good time. It was going to be something I would do once. And I go back every year because God pulls me back there every year. And the people are just wonderful. It's made me more open. It's made me more loving. It's made me more caring.
I saw God at work in our entire team, really. I mean, just the fact that everybody was there working together, you know, everyone's using their own strengths, their own weaknesses, and all of us working together to create this environment where kids can come play upward basketball. And then he was also working in some of the Ukrainians. Like, we had different Ukrainian people there that one of them said, hey, I work in the TV, I work with commercials. I want to do commercials for y'all next time y'all do this, so that way we can advertise it better and get more people. The principal of the school we were at said, I want y'all to come back next year. Y'all can use our gym again. Thank you so much for doing this. This was great for the kids. You know, God was orchestrating on every single person that was there to make it all run smooth and flawlessly. It showed me that God does indeed use our weaknesses, because of I remember one of the things I wrote in a journal, like on the plane, on the way over, I said, God, I want you to have all of me. I want you to take my strength, which I know my strength is action and just, you know, working the sports and helping with the camp and just doing things for people. But I also want you to take my weaknesses of spreading the gospel verbally. I want you to take that too, and I want you to use it all. And then the fact that it's about 3 days in after getting there, they asked me to bring the message on their Thursday evening service, and I said yes, and that was the exact thing I said was my weakness. But God said, no, this is what we're going to use.
I saw God everywhere. And the scenery, I mean, just looking at what he was able to make and to provide so that we could enjoy the beauty around us. I saw it in the people that were very welcoming. I saw it in the girls. I mean, I got a card from one little girl. Her name was Caroline. She likes to go by Caro. She handed me a card, you know, probably about a week and a half after we'd been there. And she'd handmade it, and I opened it up, and it said, sometime today I'd like to sit down and read the Bible with you. And this is coming from, like, an 11-year-old girl, and I'm supposed to be there ministering to her, and here she is wanting to sit down and read the Bible with me. So I saw God everywhere I looked. being there was a very humbling experience. It always is. But the things that I take for granted, I mean, they have no showers, no hot water, no washing machines or dryers, and the little things that are so simple that I take for granted every day, I just think about what they're going without. And although they are living in these conditions, it's so much better than where they came from. And they have a bed and they have food every day, which they didn't necessarily have before. And so it was a very humbling experience to be there and to see that and to see the joy that is radiating from them. They're happy, they sing, you know, they laugh, they like to dance. It was just very humbling, and I hope that that lasts.
I saw God in those pastors in Kampala at the church that has about 1,000 college students. That the way they worshipped, it was so evident that God was alive there. The way that they just were so free and open in worship, it was just so clear that they knew God and that God was living and active among them. I really was amazed at how big God is, going to a place so far away, and places that have such little means, but seeing people who are walking the Christian life, just like we read about and we try and do here at this church. It's very eye-opening when you see that God is working in the same ways all around the world.
Well, I really saw him when we were like working together and we were getting tired or exhausted or just like plain didn't want to work anymore. Like we'd pull each other up and say, hey, it's okay. We're all here for the same purpose. And we'd all help each other and just say, you know, be there for each other. And I really saw God just like working with people who we were helping, and like the thanks in their eyes, just not even like thanking us yet. And like everything we were doing around us, like the productivity we had, the teamwork we had, the things we did, just like I didn't even know we could do all the things we did. It was pretty amazing. So seeing all that come out of just like a youth group going to Galveston and like painting walls, cleaning up a beach, all that was just amazing about how much came out of that from just like simple acts of kindness. It really brought out a sense of like teamwork in me, like how much it matters to be with each other and be helping each other and be like, you know, part of a team and not just like helping other people for yourself, helping each other and helping other people for the people around you, and how much you can affect everyone else by just doing like giving someone a hug or like telling someone you love them or something like that. I think simple can be like a huge impact, and it's so cool to see that happen.
Well, I saw God in a lot of ways while being in China, but the main way we did, our whole team saw this was we looked at the kids, we were like, man, we're only here for 2 weeks, like, and we showed Christ's love. Like, do they really get it? Do they really see it? But what we noticed the most was Christ shining through them and how they just loved us unconditionally in that way, and how many lives that they affect. With the 2-week teams that come in, and just that you could clearly see Christ within these children, and us pouring their love onto them and then pouring it back. It was absolutely amazing to see. I guess the greatest way it changed me was that God really spoke to me that I am supposed to work with children. And yes, I'm getting my education degree, but that's just a step into getting children. I don't want to be a teacher in a classroom my whole life. I know I'm supposed to go out now and to work with these children, and God has placed that on my heart to work with these children around the world and give them hope and give them a love and give them Christ's love.